All right, let's talk about something that sounds incredibly dry, but is actually running your entire digital life: unstructured data. And I promise by the end of this, you'll see how this one idea is the secret sauce behind your Netflix queue.
So here's a weird question for you. What could a super high-tech Netflix algorithm possibly have in common with a dusty, disorganized attic? I know, it sounds like a bad riddle, but the answer is, well, pretty much everything. And this one simple analogy is the key to understanding a huge challenge at the very heart of modern technology. I want you to imagine your entire digital life, every photo, every email, every video you've ever taken, as one giant attic. It's just stuffed with thousands of unlabeled boxes. You know there's treasure in there, right? Like that one specific childhood photo you're looking for, but finding it feels completely impossible. That overwhelming mess is the problem of unstructured data.
And that's the fancy term for it. Unstructured data is just any information that you can't neatly drop into a spreadsheet. It's the photos, the whole movies, the letters from our attic analogy. And this stuff makes up most of the data in the entire world. And on its own, it's really just a giant, useless digital pile. So how in the world do we start cleaning up this digital attic? How do we make any sense out of all this chaos? Well, it turns out there are four main strategies for turning this mess into something incredibly useful. Let's walk through them one by one. So here's our game plan for tidying up. We've got four key approaches: simple tagging, smart scanning, creating a map, and then this kind of counterintuitive final strategy that I'm just going to call the big bin. Each one is a really powerful tool for bringing order to chaos. Let's kick things off with the absolute simplest method. You walk into the attic, you grab a random box, look inside, and realize it's full of old photos. So what do? You grab a Sharpie and you write "Summer Photos 1995" on the lid. That's it. That's strategy number one. Now that simple act of writing on the box, it translates perfectly to the digital world. It's the same thing as attaching metadata to a file. You know when your phone automatically adds the date, the time, and the GPS location to a photo? It's doing exactly this. It's giving the computer a simple label so it can find that file later without ever having to look at the picture itself. Okay, on to strategy two. Imagine you hire a helper for the attic. They can't read every single word of every letter you've saved, but they're smart enough to recognize patterns. They can quickly look at a document and say, "Yep, this format looks like a bill," or "This one looks like a personal letter," and they just sort them into piles for you. Well, this smart assistant is our perfect analogy for artificial intelligence. An AI can scan an image of a receipt, recognize the shapes of the letters and numbers, and turn that picture into data a computer can actually use. See, it's not just storing a photo of the receipt, it's understanding what's inside the photo. Now for our third strategy, this time you actually leave the messy attic just as it is, but you create a master list, a kind of table of contents. You don't move the boxes, you just write down what's in each one. Box 402 has clothes, box 501 has books, and so on. This master list is what we call an index. The crucial thing here is that the data itself can remain messy and all over the place, but the index is a clean, organized map that tells a computer exactly where to go to find what it's looking for. Search engines like Google are absolute masters of indexing the entire internet. Now for our final and maybe the most powerful strategy. Forget organizing the attic at all. Instead, you move every single box just as it is into one giant warehouse. You don't label or sort a thing until the exact moment you need to find something specific. This big bin approach is known in the real world as a data lake. It's a massive storage system where companies just dump all their raw, unstructured data. It's cheap, it's easy. They only bother to clean and structure a small piece of it when a data scientist has a specific question they want to answer. It is organization on demand. So we have these four really powerful strategies for organizing our digital attic. But why even bother? What's the ultimate goal of all this tagging, scanning, and mapping? Well, the goal is a complete and total transformation. And this quote just says it all. You're not just tidying up, you're fundamentally changing what the information is. You are turning a useless, chaotic pile into an organized, searchable, and incredibly valuable library. And that brings us right back to Netflix, because this is exactly how they operate. To a computer, a movie file is just a giant, messy pile of pixels. It has no idea what it's looking at. So how does it know what you'll want to watch next?
Netflix uses AI to watch every single frame. It analyzes the visual data to tag the mood. Is it dark and scary or bright and funny? It measures the pacing by counting the number of cuts to know if it's a fast-paced action movie or a slow burn drama. It even notes which actors are on screen, so if it knows you like a certain actor, it will literally change the movie's thumbnail to a picture of them, just for you. It's wild.
And it's not just for video, not at all. Let's look at Spotify. We all know it recommends songs based on a vibe. But how can a computer possibly hear a vibe? What does that even mean? Their AI does what's called a raw audio analysis, breaking that messy, unstructured sound wave into clean, structured scores. It measures things like valence. Does it sound happy or sad? Energy. Is it loud and fast? And danceability. But here's the truly brilliant part. It also uses AI to scan blogs and social media. When it sees thousands of people describing a new song with the word chill, it adds that tag to the song, and boom, it lands on your Chill Hits playlist. This slide really brings it all home. We start with messy, raw data. A movie scene, a song's audio, a user's comment. Then an AI applies one of our tidying methods. It scans the scene for a car chase. It analyzes the song's beat, or it reads the emotion in the text. The result is a clean, structured tag that a recommendation engine can actually use. This is how the magic happens, from mess to meaning. So we've gone from a messy attic to a perfectly curated library, learning how to make sense of almost any digital information. This leaves us with a fascinating final question. As these tools get even more powerful, what other giant, messy piles of data are out there, just waiting to be turned into the world's next great libraries? What will we choose to understand next?